the broadcast. I do too.
There we
What's up,
go.
Al? What's going on?
Hang on a second. Gotta make sure I close this. Any better?
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. I had a monster echo because I had two of the things were open.
Yeah, I don't hear any echoes now.
Don't hear Nicole either, so
She's
she'll be here in a minute. She's probably in the basement listening to me, is she?
hello.
No?
Nicole is in the chat. There is actually an echo. I'm gonna mute you real quick and see if it's here.
It's probably me.
Echo? I don't hear an echo. Yeah, it was you.
Is your echo cancellation turned on?
It's in settings.
Yep. Settings, audio, echo cancellation.
Yeah, it's check marked.
Okay, well let me leave and come back. That will probably fix
Okay.
it.
Madwood Barbecue, what's going on? Whoa. Dale. What's going on, Dale? I'm going to post the StreamYard link in the chat if anyone wants to come up. We were over at DJ's Live and decided I was going to go live because my wife doesn't get off until midnight and I can't sleep without my wife here. I don't know. It's like a sad country song, I guess. And here's Nicole.
All right. Where's the other one?
He had a really bad echo.
Oh.
So he's leaving. He said he'd coming right back.
Yeah, I clicked that link in the thing, and I don't know where I went.
I don't know either. Hey, Kettle Kitchen, Mr. Late Night, Tony.
Hey, Tony.
And Annie. Annette. Hang on a second, Al. There you are. I have
Better
a problem.
now?
Yeah, no echo now. So we don't have anything we're talking about. We're just hanging out. If anyone wants to, I think I put the link. Let me make sure I got the right link.
Yeah, because the one you put up last time, I don't even know.
Yeah, that link worked. That's what I used, the one in the chat.
Oh, it did?
It didn't work for me. I went somewhere else.
Hey, here's Mr. Poohhead himself, Josh Skinner.
Hey, poopy head.
How's it going, Josh?
Nicole.
Hello.
That's poopy head right there above me.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about who's on the bottom.
Right? I was going to leave it
roll
alone.
downhill. Oh, I'm sorry. That was just, it's something we used to use in the shoe store all the time. Stuff tends to roll downhill.
Yeah.
That's why I'm underneath Nicole.
Yeah.
Nicole, where'd you go?
She turned her camera on and then it went black.
Yeah.
I don't think she meant to. I think she probably going to refill her wine glass or something and then it fell over.
Oh, she just screamed out at me and said she'd be back in a minute.
Oh.
Your camera came on, Sorry. My.
So, Josh, I got called in yesterday, Saturday.
Yeah.
I texted you, but you never responded back. And then it still says failed to delivery.
Yeah, I never got nothing.
It keeps saying failed to deliver. And I was real busy and I didn't have time to call you.
So it snowed here yesterday and it screwed everything up. So and I didn't really have anyone in mind to bring it up, so I just said piss on it and kind of took it easy.
Yeah, I don't blame you. So,
I was going to go hunting, but it was pouring. I'm just dumping snow. I'm like, I'm not going to sit out there and get soaked because I didn't have the ground blind set up. So
it's been pretty cold here. Well, cold to everybody except myself. I think it's like t-shirt weather. So I had to help. So we're doing air quality tests at work, right? And I happen to be the lucky person to walk the ladies around that were doing the air quality test. We had to get on a ladder, go up to the first floor on the outside of the building, and this lady so I climb up the ladder first because she wants to see me do it because she doesn't know if it's safe. So I did do it, and then she's down there fiddling with some stuff, putting some stuff in her pocket, zipping her coat up, putting her gloves on, and she gets like about halfway up this ladder and starts looking down. I'm like, hey, look up here, look at me, because she has to do the air quality test or it's void. And she gets about 3/4 of the way up, and her hands are on the rung, and they go from on the rungs to around the ladder, and she is froze up. She is not moving.
Man.
So I had to call my boss to have him come out on another ladder, and kind of coach her down the whole time. It was pretty
Not
fun.
good. Not good. Bring her on a zip line next.
Yeah. Well, so
Yeah.
then the other lady and the young guy that was with them, they had a difficult time getting up the ladder too. I didn't. It was only like 20 foot. It wasn't that bad. But then going from the first floor to the second floor, the ladder's not quite all the way to the top, so you have to hold on to the concrete wall and throw your stuff over the top of it. And they're like, no, there's no way we're doing that. I was like, okay, well, you just want me to do it? And they're like, yes, we do. Hey, Jan.
what's happening, Jan?
I gotta turn on a room here because I can't see the chat.
Oh, Brett came in too. Well, I assume it was Brett. It was Brett over at
Butt
DJ's.
nuggets.
Yeah, well, tiny nuggets. So, it snowed here on Friday.
Did it?
Yeah, it looked more like dandruff than snow.
Really? We had snow
Yeah, it
here
was
the other day, but it was like the little tiny styrofoam beads bouncing around all over the place. Didn't last very long. It was all gone now. Thankfully. We'll have enough of that soon enough.
See, I'm kind of envious of the people up
I
north.
hear you
'Cause
right here.
love
You got
snow.
15 feet 1 year.
What?
Did you say the other day in a live you got 15 feet 1 year? Or at one time or something?
Where?
Where you're at?
On my live? Well, I was on my live earlier
Did you get
today. I had 26 or
No,
27.
a
Well,
year
that
or
was
so
fun.
ago,
I
you got
just got
15
up on
feet.
the wrong live.
Oh, yeah, no. Yeah, a few years ago, it was about 15 to 20 feet of snow fell. We had a huge snowstorm. It dumped it all on us, all at once. They call it
That's-
Snowmageddon.
Yeah.
If you ever watch the channel Cottage Life, on Cottage Life, there's a show called Extreme Weather. They actually
Yeah.
use St. John's for their snowstorm section of extreme weather.
I'm kind of envious of the people up north. I love the snow. Like
We
I
can
would
trade
No.
places if you want.
the
I hate snow.
well, people come to Oklahoma and they think that Oklahoma's just hot. Oklahoma's cold too, but it's not. Like I had a friend that moved down here that I work with. He moved down here from Alaska, and he's like, it feels colder here than it does in Alaska. It's like, well, probably because it was 110 all summer long, and you just kind of got used to it.
You get used to that heat all summer long, yeah.
Hey,
That'd do it.
Brenda.
Yeah, when I was stationed, it was like that. Now, I was stationed in Fort Polk, Louisiana. It was 120 freaking degrees, and then was coming home for leave, and I stopped in Birmingham, Alabama. It was like 70 degrees. I about froze. I mean, 50-degree temperature drop in a few hours.
But that's like I was looking at people on here, and you're down there in 70 degrees, and you got a sweater on and a jacket on and a hat on. I'm like, 70 degrees? I'll be in a t-shirt and shorts out walking around. Turn on the air conditioning to stay out of the heat.
The 70 degrees is nice. I keep my house
It's
at
really
62. Nice. I keep my house at 62 all year round.
Yeah. See, that's nice temperature.
Hello.
What up?
What's up, Dale?
Hey, Dale.
Hey.
Hey, Dale.
What
hey,
up?
Dale.
Hey, so I got a question for you, Dale. So I was watching Lisa's video today, her Noodle November. Whoa. Why was she doing the dishes when she was cooking? That was your job.
Not my job. That was her meal, not mine.
I just thought it was funny.
I wash the dishes for your meal too.
That's right.
I commented that on there. I was like, "You're cooking. Why isn't Dale doing the dishes while you're waiting 20 minutes?"
It gets funny. Funnier.
I watched the whole thing. Hey, that's my shirt.
It is your shirt. I work quail hunting today.
So, Nicole, you keep dropping off. I am not kicking you off, I swear.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
I think
right.
I'm good now.
Well,
I don't know about that, Nicole. Oh, he looks kind
no,
of
the
shifty.
funniest part. The funniest part. Hello, Jan, and everybody else. Sorry.
Hey, Jan.
That I dropped out for a minute. But anyway, the funniest part about that was she edited it. It was posted, but it was unlisted. And I said, "Did you drop your video?" She goes, "Yeah, there's only one view on it. And it's been like that for a couple hours." It was unlisted. She didn't change it to public.
I seen that in the chat or in the text that you guys
Why
sent
is
it to
that
Tony.
you? I had that happen with one of my logs.
Oh, I did it.
Private.
I
And
did
nobody
it
put it in.
myself.
I was like, how come nobody joined my room? Nobody likes me.
That's awesome,
That's what it
Jan.
was. It was all private.
Way to go, boss. Good eating,
No.
Jan.
He's
Quail
like a deer.
hunting was interesting. So I may have a video coming out about a review on a company. It depends on how they react tomorrow when I get a hold of them. And in the interest of your channel, I don't want to bring up too much about it, but stay tuned for that. But we got into birds yesterday. We did a whole lot of walking today and didn't get into any birds, but
We want to go quail hunting, so we might have to take a trip up to see you and Lisa, Dale.
I'm in.
I love quail hunting.
How about pheasant and quail combined?
I'm down.
Is that your last cut of the haircut of the year?
What?
Is that your last haircut of the year?
Who are you talking to?
You, poopy head. There's only one poopy head up here.
Oh no, I get this. I get it cut. You guys just don't see it every time I get it cut. You see it after a week, and it's already long again.
I'm there. I need to get mine, but this ain't getting cut again until like spring.
I had to cut this for respirator fit, and luckily it sealed up without having to get my goatee.
Nina would kill you if you cut that off.
Well, yeah, because there's a huge scar here. I don't know if I've told you guys, but I have a huge scar right here across my chin. It goes across and then it goes down. And every time I shave my face, everybody's like, "What happened to your scar?" And at this point, I just start making up stuff, you know, like just random, whatever I can think of.
You got
Well, I was
bar-
working on the transmission of my truck and it exploded.
Yeah.
I was hanging underneath my Dodge truck, and the transmission exploded and got me right here. But I held it together with my teeth to make it down the road.
Yeah.
All right, where's Madwood Barbecue at? Because don't be bragging you got tons of pheasant and quail without an invite.
Right? He's yelling it too.
Brenda.
Or they're yelling. I don't know. I assume.
Yeah. But we'll talk about that later.
Do you guys do Iowa? Ooh.
Oh.
I would
really?
almost. That would be a good trip.
I'm in.
I was just giving you a hard time about the caps lock. I don't care. It makes it stand out.
I can be to Des Moines in like 4 or 5 hours max.
So, have you ever? Well, I assume you have. We go prairie dog hunting in the summer. Or
I've never been. I want to go.
we go out in the panhandle of Oklahoma, and then right there with Kansas, because the big guy that owns that ranch out there, like it cripples his cattle and his horses and stuff that he runs, and like he's just like, whatever you want to do, I don't care. He said, but you can't leave one. You have to kill them all.
Kind of like years ago when I used to be into raccoon hunting hard, had really, really good dogs. We went to Iowa for the opening week every year for coon hunting. And like you would stop and ask farmers if you could hunt. And that was what they said. They're like, heck yeah, you can hunt all you want. But if I find out you left one you seen, you'll never come back again.
Yeah. Well, so I have a buddy that he's on the outdoor channel. He does hunting, and I go up there prairie dog hunting with him. I actually took him up there. I didn't know he had a hunting channel. I just kind of ran into him. He's an acquaintance. He's not really like a friend, you know. He is now. He wasn't at the time. And he shows up in this van, and I'm like, who's this in this petty van, you know? he hops out, and I was like, oh, you know. So I go over there, and I'm talking to him and whatnot. And this other guy opens the door with this camera and everything, and I was like, oh, we're doing this, are we? You know? And then he's like, oh, yeah, I film for the Outdoor Channel on all my hunts. So I've actually been on the Outdoor Channel like 3 times doing prairie dog hunts.
Poopy Head's got even a bigger head going on there, Josh. I mean, he's been
Yeah,
around.
It's a lot of fun.
I'm surprised he still talks to us, Dale. We're the little guys.
I know. Hello, tiny farm nuggets. Hey, human over there, are you just going to sit over there and be quiet behind your glass line? Okay.
Come on now, you know it's better than that.
She keeps muting herself. She's probably letting us have it while she's muted.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's what you don't hear that, you know.
Yeah.
That's why I might just randomly every now and again start laughing.
So while I was gone bird hunting yesterday, Nana decided to completely rearrange our front room. So I'm a little out of my element. So now I got Hank behind me instead of my normal spot.
You gave it a name? Why?
You gotta
'Cause I
give
killed-
every man a name.
I killed him when I was 14,
Oh.
and he's been Hank ever since.
He's Hank because he's hanging.
He's hanging around Hank.
Hey,
Beth, what's up?
yeah, I need to go.
Get
I
the
need to put my.
thingy.
I need to put my glasses on.
Yeah, I'm going to get my Ibbles checked out tomorrow because, yeah, I can't see anything.
Oh. I need to.
So we've kind of been like, we didn't even realize anybody was live. We've been watching other stuff tonight. So I didn't even
What?
know DJ was live or anything.
Yeah, I did. I did. I was actually debating on whether or not to go live, and because it's a couple people that I usually go to on tonight. I was putting flooring in our hallway, so I ripped it all out during the day whenever everybody's normally live, and I hopped on. I'm thinking, man, I might go live, and then I seen DJ was live, so I went over there. Heather Lands. How do you say that? I don't want to mess up the last
Lanscron.
Landscron. Hello.
That's how I'd pronounce it. But I'm just
Well-
a redneck from Kansas.
I'm right. I'm not that far from you.
See, in instances like that, I would just say, "Hi, Heather."
Yeah.
That's usually what I do.
Because I mess up enough names as it is. If there's a name there that I can say, like Heather, I'm gonna say Heather.
Yeah, I'd say hi, Heather, and that'd be it.
Hey, look,
What's up, Eddie?
it's Eddie.
What's up, dog? You see the size of that chicken?
Hi, Beth.
So we've been getting. So we have 12 chickens. We got early in the spring. We have been getting 8 eggs a day. And here's my question. So my in-laws, they have a boot and saddle repair place, right? They generally sell eggs out of the boot place, but they have not been getting any eggs. So they asked us to bring some eggs up there just so they could have some to sell. What do eggs sell for in your guys' area?
About $5 a dozen.
$3.50.
We're selling for $2.
So
Well,
my
I'm
question.
in Canada.
So it depends where you go. It's $5 to $7, right?
Farm fresh
Here.
butt nuggets.
But my question is, do you sell the eggs cheaper than what they can buy them at Walmart? I don't think it's a good idea because I'm trying to sell a higher quality product than what Walmart has, and if I'm lowballing myself, I'm only hurting myself, right?
That's right.
Yep.
Well, I'm telling you,
Hi, Jane.
you go to Walmart, big box store, whatever, and free range organic eggs are $4.50 plus.
Santa,
So-
where'd you go? Oh, there you are.
Can't be selling the exact same thing for cheap. I mean, that much cheaper.
No, that's what I'm saying. So they're selling them for $3 a dozen, but you just like where their shop is, you can go to Walmart or any big box store, and it's $5.50 to $6 a dozen. that's for the cheap eggs. So why should I sell my eggs for $3 a dozen?
I wouldn't. I haven't sold any for a couple months. We've been using them all. So, well, yeah, for at least a month. But plus, our chickens went through molt, so we weren't getting as many. And if I'm gonna give them away at $3 a dozen for the cost of feed right now, I'd rather feed them to myself, store them, or feed them to pigs for the
Yeah.
protein.
Yeah, because then I'm actually using protein that I'm making on my own farm. You
Yeah.
know,
Half a dozen eggs is the same as 1 pound of 16% protein.
yeah.
Same thing.
So, Mr. Claus, how are you doing today?
I'm pretty tired. I just put in two long shifts at the mall,
Wow.
and we had thousands and thousands going through. I'm just literally. I think everybody that's been locked up with COVID has come out all at once, and it was crazy today. We had people coming in from Saskatchewan and Calgary, Alberta, and all over the place.
Wow.
So yeah, it was a good day, but boy, I'm knackered. Oh my gosh.
Can't you picture him in the mall saying, "They love me. They really love me."
Yeah, okay. I saw some cute things today, but I saw some really strange things too. Of course, you do in the mall. So looking forward to actually getting into doing the community stuff again and the neighborhood and just doing my YouTubing. Starting tomorrow, of course, I've got my dedicated channel for the children, so families can write to Santa Claus Great White North at gmail.com and give me the information on their kids. I don't need the last names. I just need the first names and a little bit of info so I can add a little Christmas magic to it. And then I'll do a personalized video for the families throughout the whole community. I don't care if I do hundreds of them, but they'll all be on my Santa Claus channel, not on the Numis Maniac channel.
Yeah.
So yeah, gives the old retired guy something to do.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, and I'm gonna eat lots of eggs too because I need the protein.
I hear you.
Well, it was just a question that I had because my wife and I kind of got into it. We didn't get into it. We had a discussion about it.
You had a
I'm like,
heated discussion.
well, it wasn't even heated. She was like, well, they sell them for $3 a dozen. I was like, why am I selling my eggs there for $3 a dozen when I can sell them for $7? Because that's what the guys at work give them to me for bringing them in. Like they just I didn't ever tell anybody a price. They just gave me $7 for bringing them into them every day.
Well, I would just continue that.
Yeah.
I don't blame you. That's I go to the local Save-On or Safeway here, and they're all over $7 or $7.50 a dozen. I mean, it's crazy.
Well, it just doesn't make sense. Like I'm trying to match the quality of eggs from Walmart or the dollar store or wherever.
Well, first of all, you're not going to match $3 eggs because $3 eggs are raised in a confinement operation. That's what they don't tell you.
Oh, you can tell as soon as you crack them.
Yeah.
Right.
When the yolk is so light yellow, like
and the shells are so thin.
Yep.
There's a big difference in the eggs.
Yeah.
Big difference.
Well, and it's the same way with like we typically sell beef or pork for $6 a pound packaged, right? 1 pound packages. And I don't differentiate between steaks or ground beef. It's $6 a pound per package. Because at $6 a pound per package, I'm still making a substantial amount of money. And I don't feel like I should charge someone $20 for a steak when I can still charge $6 a pound for the same steak and still making really good money. Now, I'm not saying that it's wrong for someone to do that. I'm just saying I don't personally do it.
Yeah.
because $6 a pound. I mean, I'm raising the calves, having them processed, and I don't have anywhere close to $6 a pound in them. So I'm still making a decent profit. So I'm passing a little bit of that on to, which I think it actually is probably going to have to go up a little bit just because of
Oh, you
fuel.
lost me now. I was going to come down and get some meats off you, but no.
Well, I'm not talking like huge jumps. I'm just talking like a little bit, just because of fuel prices and everything.
hmm
And this year, hay is just non-existent where I live at,
Where are you at?
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma. Oh, I like that.
Yeah. It's always windy in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Western
My beef pun there. My beef is the way that Costco and many of these outfits are reducing the size of the package so they can keep the prices the same. They must think that we're stupid.
Oh yeah.
You know, like,
Well,
come on, guys. Even
well,
even for us Canadians, Tim Hortons.
It's not
They're
just
not even when you order your chili now, they give you half a bun instead of a whole bun. They're doing all kinds of weird things to cut back.
Oh yeah, and it's not that they don't think you're stupid; they just don't care what you think.
Yeah.
Well, actually, probably half of the people are stupid.
Well,
Just saying.
people are
I'm not-
oblivious to the change.
I'm
People
not.
are oblivious to the change, and you know how I can tell people are oblivious to the change? It's because I worked and work in with foods. A
Yeah.
500-gram pack of bacon went to $4.54, which was a pound. Then it went down to 300. You know how many people complained? 0. Because nobody is looking at it. They're saying,
It's a
I'm still
package of
getting a pack of
bacon.
bacon. But you know
It's
what
just a
the
package of
big thing
bacon.
is? That pack of bacon that went down to 375 grams went up $2 in price.
Well,
You tell me they're not making money? They're making money hand over fist.
right. So
It's a 40% increase.
what? Oh,
Why?
but we're only at
Why?
11%. We're only at 11% cost of living. So
Yeah, there's that.
What?
Yeah, whatever. Santa,
Okay, that
Santa,
sent a cold chill through me.
Santa. I can't get over how much you sound like Tony at Kettle Kitchen. I'm just enamored with your
That's
voice.
because he keeps trying to imitate me.
I thought that was it. I know he's worked very hard on trying to sound like Santa, but when I heard you the other night, I was like, "Oh my God, Santa sounds like Tony. He sounds just like Tony.
Tony sounds like Santa.
Tony sounds like Santa."
Exactly.
Yes. Hello, Mitchell. Hello, Dale. Hello, Al.
Hello.
Santa. I love
I
you.
don't think Tony belongs to the International Brotherhood of Real Bearded Santas, though.
No, I don't.
And by the
He
way,
might.
that's a real thing.
Yes, I know. I was Santa when
Well-
I raised my grandson, and I was Santa.
You were?
It's been done.
I don't have the beard now.
For you straight-laced guys that like doing the camping and fishing and the hunting and farming and all that stuff, we Santas even have cruises, Santa cruises, where they organize it, yes, on a cruise ship up to Alaska, and you're in character, including the wife. So Mrs. Claus is all the way there's Christmas music. And you talk about going all the way. Yeah, live, eat, and breathe it. And you get there, and they got stores, different shops open, and that's where you can buy all your Christmas ornaments and different accoutrements for your sets and whatnot. Because when you're a seasonal actor and you happen to be Santa, you have to take it serious because you're doing 8 to 12 hours a day. Every 6 minutes, you got a new little gaffer sitting next to you, and you have to stay in character. It rubs off to the point where you can't get rid of it.
Yeah. Can I tell you my Santa story?
I have 2 ears and 1 mouth. I'll keep my mouth shut and both ears
yeah.
open.
Mitchell, may I?
Go ahead, Jan.
Okay, so I raised my grandson Todd. I was really active in this school, and my friend had an authentic Santa Claus costume, and so everyone's like, "We need a Santa. We don't have a Santa." I said, "I'll do Santa. I'd love to do Santa." So I put the costume and the beard on, and I went in there and I, did all the things. And this little boy walks up and he looks at me in the eyes and he goes, "You are not Santa." And I'm like, "Oh, yes, I am." And I'm a woman trying to talk like a man. And he goes, "I don't think so." So I called. He's like was my adoptive pa, and I said, "Pa, I need you to switch places with me because this little boy's coming back after lunch." And so he did, and he had the beard, and he looked like Santa. He put the suit on. Little boy comes back in, and he's like pulling on Calvin's beard, and he goes, "You are Santa." He said, "Well, I already told you that."
That's awesome.
It was the funnest thing because he was like the only kid in the whole school who was skeptical, and he wanted to touch my beard, but he didn't. I don't know. God was with me that day. Because if he had touched the beard, I would have been found out,
Oh yeah.
And but Calvin went in there, and he was like, I wish you could have seen his expression because it was beyond priceless. And his mom came and told me later at a meeting. She said, "I can't tell you how many hours my son went on and told all his friends he met the real Santa." And I was like, "Oh, that's so funny."
Those magical moments are so priceless. So
Really?
priceless.
Yes.
I do a walk around in my neighborhood at Christmas time so that and the housewives they do a little bit of background work and they dress up as elves. They go to the houses, collect the presents from the parents, and on that's designated day, I walk around the entire neighborhood dressed as Santa. And my elves ran, and we did this all through COVID. They'd run to the door, deliver the presents, and of course, I'd speak to the children from the street. And they were all shocked because I knew their names and all these little details and whatnot.
Oh, that's awesome.
Well, there's this one little girl later on down the road, during the day. She happened to be looking outside the side window of her house, and I was heading down towards the back alley and heading to my garage. And she couldn't have been any more than 5 years old. But she looks outside, and I'm next to the mailbox, and I look up at her, and her eyeballs almost popped out of her head, and you could hear her screaming from inside the house, "Mom, Santa's outside the window!" Right? And she runs away. I walked around the corner and out of sight. And of course, she brings Mom and Dad to the window. I'm gone. Well, I know these neighbors, right? How I heard a little later on, it says, "You gave her the biggest thrill of her life. And then when you were gone," she says, "it was magic. He was just there. He was gone." I says, "Well,
That's
what
awesome.
Santa does."
That's right.
Yeah. My
Yeah,
neighbor
things like that I love.
took the snow, that you spray, and he sprayed it around his boots all the way. We lived on Galveston Bay, and he sprayed it all the way on our patio from the front door inside the house. We let him spray it inside the house, a couple prints, walking out down the stairs. And we had gotten Todd his mom had gotten him a remote control car, that you
Mhm.
drive or whatever, battery operated. And Mike, our neighbor across the street, who he had the same suit on, he perfectly pulled it off. And, you hear we had authentic reindeer bells
Oh, excellent.
And yeah, so he's ringing the bells, and Todd's like passed out like a light. We're like trying to wake him up. We're like, Santa's here, you know, and so he anyway, we finally get him up, and Mike's at the bottom of the stairs, thank God. And just as he walked down the bottom of the stairs, Todd comes around the porch and looks down the stairs and sees him, you know, the back of him leaving. And Todd hauls butt down the stairs. Mike runs around the other side of the house and hides. And we had a room downstairs, and Todd's looking all around the yard, you know, for Santa. But Mike's in our room downstairs locked in, you know, and he, when he walked down there, he saw his car, and he was like, he just, you know, the look on the kid's face is just worth everything. It's worth
Absolutely.
everything.
Absolutely.
It's so fun. It's so magical for them. So yeah. Yeah, that's to me what Christmas is about. I mean,
That's right.
aside from
That's
the Lord
right.
Jesus. So yeah.
Yeah. You know, in Newfoundland, they hang cod off their trees, right? They
I
don't
did
have
not
baubles. They put cod and halibut up there. Halibut was a little hard on the branches, but
Is that true, or are you messing with me?
oh, I'm messing with you.
Oh.
Al's going, yeah, right.
I was gonna go, Al, is that true? I'm sort of naive in those ways.
Well, listen,
I mean,
Joel,
really?
if anywhere in Canada would have hung cod on a tree, it would have been hair, and we don't do that.
That is true.
So no, don't listen to him.
Okay, good. Well, my sister-in-law's in-laws live in Newfoundland, and probably not too far. They're in central Newfoundland, but yeah, probably not too far from you, Al.
Oh, yeah,
Central
Newfoundland's a
Newfoundland,
pretty
they're
big
probably living
province,
in-
you know.
They're probably living in Gander, so that's about
That's what
4
I was
hours
thinking.
away.
Central is probably Gander.
I have no idea. I just
Well,
know it's central.
That would be 4 hours away.
Well, that's not far for us around here. But I know in Canada, 4 hours opposed to our 4 hours is a night and day thing.
Yeah,
So,
because we travel a little faster than they do.
yeah. Well,
pretty
and
sure-
they have it's just weird there how it goes, from what I understand.
It's weird.
Yeah, the way your roads run and our roads run. I mean, we can take all these back roads, but you got other ways.
Yeah, and you guys only
Longer.
go like 55 miles an hour, and we go like 80 everywhere.
80, 85, 90-ish.
That's because we're chill.
Well,
Yeah.
we're always in a hurry.
Well,
Oh.
see, we're chilled when we live in the country, so we're chilled like Magellan. I mean, you know, chilling like Magellan. Well, when we get in the city, we're like, get us out of here, God. And so that's when we get on the freeway, we lose our ever-loving mind
Well,
because
you
It
know,
sucks.
whenever I left Kansas and I went coming back to Oklahoma from Dale's meetup, we get to almost Tulsa, and I was going 75, 80 through
Yeah.
Tulsa. I mean, I'm just booking it, and my wife's like, "Baby, you need to slow down. You need to slow down." I was like, "You don't need to be a backseat driver."
Oh, but she was right.
Yeah,
Tulsa
no.
has the most speed traps in the world.
Yeah,
I
if
mean, yeah.
if you have an out-of-state tag.
No. I had an Oklahoma tag. You can be in a 65 mile an hour zone or 80 or 70, 70, 75. Next thing you know, you blink and you're in a 35 because there's a
Mhm.
little gas station in that road. And
Yeah.
God knows if you don't go 35, you might miss it. So y'all know what I'm talking about.
See, I'm close enough. I'm close enough in Kansas that those Oklahoma drivers come up here. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's when I just start reloading ammo.
I'm
Yeah,
with
They
you.
drive like
Jeez.
freaking maniacs.
They are the worst. No offense, Mitchell, but the worst drivers.
It's
Now,
like they think-
Mitchell, I haven't driven by you yet, so.
They
I-
haven't driven through Quebec, have they, Al?
Come out on that.
I have
No,
drove just
no.
about everywhere in the United States and Germany, Paris, Australia,
Oh, bless your heart.
and the worst place I've ever been is California. California drivers.
Dude, you're so right.
I mean, like,
The worst.
there's no words that can.
Okay.
I can say a few
Chicago
words.
is
I
close.
drove down there just 3 days before Mount St. Helens blew. So I'm dating myself here.
Ugh.
Headed down there. I wanted to go to Anaheim, see Disneyland. I couldn't get off the bloody road. I ended up in Arizona. 'Cause, there's just no way I could get across all those lanes of traffic. They were all driving like madmen.
Well, what
Yeah.
you do is what they do is just cut in front of you. You
Yeah.
know,
Oh yeah. They scared the heck out of me.
when I was driving in LA, I mean, I'm just taking my sweet time. I lived in Texas, and I'm like, yeah, I followed the rules, and all of a sudden, this guy comes from 2 lanes over, and there's a car right in front of me, and he went right between us, and I was peed off. I was so
Mhm.
mad. Oh my God, I was so mad. I'm honking the horn and I'm yelling. I'm road raging at that point, and like, you idiot.
The second
It
worst
is-
place
Like,
is Texas, by
I'm
far.
telling you.
Like, you can
I
be
love
going
how
down
they-
the road,
Go
and
ahead.
they will hit the off ramp, come back up the on ramp to get around you,
yes.
and not slow
Wow.
down a bit. Just, I mean,
No.
80 in intersection, everything. Just cruise
Fly
right through it.
through it.
Yeah.
What I
Or
love
go.
about them is they come up here and they'll get behind you and start flashing their headlights at you and everything, and get mad because you don't just pull over on the side of the road and park.
You
and
don't
wait for
move
them to
over.
by.
Yeah.
It's
Or
like
they'll
their
go
official
90
saying,
and
"Get
fly
out of our
past
way."
you. Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not moving. Come move my fat, you know what, out of the way, buddy.
Yeah.
Come on over here to my truck, and we're going to talk about this because you're an idiot. I can't handle
Yeah.
you.
I-45 in Texas is probably the worst freeway to ever drive on.
Oh, I
And I lived in Texas for 45 years, so
When I-
before we moved here. And I
I've been
mean,
down
I
through
had a major
Dallas,
adjustment.
Fort Worth, down to Houston. I mean,
No, Dallas, no. Dallas is
idiots.
the worst. It's worse.
Al,
than
I love
Houston.
watching or listening to the Americans talk about how horrible it was. Try Damascus, Syria.
Oh,
I-
no.
The largest vehicle with the loudest horn has the right of way. When I went through my training to be able to drive over there, this was the United Nations. They told me
That's
quite
questionable.
clearly that if you hit a goat, you had to chase down a second goat and kill it too. I said,
What?
why? Because if you hit the first goat, the UN would be responsible for every goat that goat would have. But if you hit the second, it's neglect on the part of the shepherd.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah, oh
okay.
yeah. Then
Whoa.
they said, well, also if you hit a pedestrian, if it's an old person, don't worry about it. But if
What?
it's a young person, we will instantly repatriate you out of country because they will hunt you down.
Wow.
Old people,
Wow.
doesn't matter. It means you just save the family some money.
Wow.
I tell you, I did not want to drive in that thing with anything less than a 5-ton multi-fueler.
Yeah. See why.
Bigger the better.
I like what Brenda said when they can't wait to get around you and then they slow down. That's what they do in Florida. They pull out of the parking spot or parking lot, and you're booking it at 45, 55 miles an hour, and someone no one behind you, not a soul behind you, but they got to pull right in front of you and go 30.
Oh, that's not cool.
Mhm.
Yeah. Florida was the worst for that. Texas was the second worst. Dallas, I don't drive in ever.
Germany's up there, depending on where you're at. And the reason why I
Yeah.
say Germany is they have all the little turnarounds.
Roundabout.
The traffic circles, you got to learn
Yeah.
how to use them.
Yeah, but
Hate
they don't.
those.
They do not care if you are trying to. So especially
Yeah.
the double and triple lane ones. Like if
Oh,
you go
what?
in and you go to the triple, the inside lane one, you can be there for 20 minutes going circles. And I'm not even kidding.
Yeah.
Oh my
But
God!
they
I
got
can't
the
stay
Autobahn.
in
That's
one
nice.
circle.
Well, you know, the Autobahn is very misleading. Everybody thinks the Autobahn does not have a speed limit. It does in certain spots, and it is very
1,000.
random. I mean, you can be going down the Autobahn going 120, 140 miles an hour, and then all of a sudden you have a little red light deal said, got to go to 60K. And it's like, whoa!
Mm-hmm.
It's just, so
What?
anywhere there has been bad wrecks at, they put a speed
Yeah.
limit at that part of the Autobahn.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it's an
And
interesting
this
place
is
to
why I've
drive.
never been there.
Nice country. Love it.
Yeah, it's I love it over there.
Good
Beautiful
food.
country. Yeah. I mean, I would love to go there, but I'd have to have a chauffeur
Well,
Yeah.
so when
and
we
a
go,
mask to keep my eyes covered.
well, it's like we don't have to pay for lodging or anything when we go over there, so we usually go over there for like a month and a half at a time.
Oh, nice.
So it's, and then like anytime we're there, like her uncle or her aunts or cousins or something are always trying to get us to go do something. And like, I married up. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
I'll need a beer stein on your next trip, please.
Yeah,
You married
Yeah.
up.
yeah.
Yeah, I married
Way
up
out of
when I
your
married
league.
Mrs. C.
Oh,
I don't know, Eddie. I've been doing a floor all day, so I haven't really looked at my phone much.
Anyway, gang, I have got to get some sleep. This has been one long day.
Well, nice.
So I'm going to catch some Z's, and tomorrow I'll be on my live feed, 2:00 Mountain Standard.
rest up, Santa.
Dressed up, oh yeah, for until Christmas. That's it. I'm in character for the whole time.
Yeah.
Yep.
I love what you're doing.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of fun. Hey, come on,
Well,
I'm retired.
appreciate-
I can do whatever I want.
Well,
I know
appreciate you
it's
coming
great
up.
to be retired.
Oh, I enjoy it. Especially, I had to come up. I saw Al there, and Al looks, he looks out of place. You need to have another Canadian show up.
Yeah.
Now,
And
if
I
we just
showed
had
up because he
Tony-
didn't have any women, so
if we
I had to
had
bail
Tony
him
from the
out.
armpit
Well, I'm
of
glad you
Canada,
did, too. So
Tony's still offended by that. We call
Have a good
Washington
night,
the
guys.
armpit of Canada.
Oh, that's
Tony
wrong.
got a little riled up over that armpit of Canada joke.
Oh.
Yes, Eddie, I did see your message. I'll respond back to you here in a bit.
Nah, you don't have to answer, Eddie. Did you see my comment that the boss got a doe?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
That's awesome.
I can't believe how much meat is on a doe. I mean, my
How much?
God, it just kept coming and coming and coming. I've got a 5-gallon bucket still I have to process and then do hamburger tomorrow. I love it. He's going to go next week too. Yeah. He only got one tag though. I don't know how that happened. I said, you spent $17 and you only got one tag?
Oh yeah,
This
I
seems crazy.
wish ours was only $17.
ours are 25 a pop.
What? For one tag?
It's almost 30 in Kansas for one.
Well, see, I have a
Oh,
lifetime.
you're right, it does.
I
And
have
that's
a
even
lifetime, and they're
landowner.
covered. What are you talking about, landowner? Tags are tags in Oklahoma.
No, there's landowner and resident, so it's a little bit cheaper if you have 80 acres or more in Kansas and in the
Mhm.
business of farming.
Mhm.
Mm.
That's true. We couldn't get that exemption, but he said, "Hey, Eddie," he said now he can get another one, and he can get a antlerless one for $7. And I said, well, I think I'd like you to get one where if you can find a buck, because he saw like 12 deer in the same area he was hunting. And I said, if you see a buck, you know, we're not all wrapped up on what we get, but you know, I'd sort of like them to have a buck. And there's some big bucks out there. So
Oh, yeah.
we turned the head in today and took it to the place where they test them, you know, for the disease thing.
The chronic wasting, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why I struggle with that, but the chronic waste disease, yeah. And he turned that in. So we're processing the meat, and they said it's like 2 weeks. But can you get sick if they have that? Can you get sick from the meat?
Well, that's
There's like a
that's the
debate.
yeah. There's
Some
a huge
people
debate
say
on
you
that.
can, some people say you can't. I don't know.
Well, I'm going to tell you, this deer had no signs of anything on it. You know, I mean, it was so beautiful and healthy and lovely. And we've seen in Texas, we had I call them troops of deers. I mean, we had like 40 deer that would just show up in our yard at one time. And we saw some sick looking deers. And
Well,
so,
but it's all Texas is a lot different environment. So I've hunted in a lot of places in Texas deer. Like our deer in Oklahoma are small, and then in Texas they're smaller. But the further north you go, the bigger deer, the bigger
Our deer are
body they
big.
get. Yeah, well,
yeah,
like
That
ours
boy
are about
right
the
there.
same size.
That boy
he's
right
big.
there with nothing in him, like field dressed empty carcass, nothing, was 310 pounds. Is what stamped there.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, he
well,
was
that
big.
doe he got was very, very, it didn't look big in the picture I posted, but she was a nice doe.
I'd
She
rather
was
eat.
so good. But
I'd
I
rather eat
heard,
them.
yeah, I heard the doe meat is better than the buck meat. So,
It is.
I mean, yeah, you know, he's hunting. He's sitting out there doing the hard work and freezing his butt off. So whatever he wants to do, I said, you know, it's fine with me. I'm just the cleanup lady.
Yeah.
But we're giving our skins to our friends. They have an off-grid camp, Christian camp, and he teaches people. He does classes on how to preserve hides, and
Oh yeah.
everyone gets to participate, and they get a piece of the hide to take home with them.
Just got to keep the brain.
Yeah, well, yeah, we'll take the head and turn it in.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
no,
You have
I'm
2
talking about
days.
for the hide.
Oh, yeah.
So there's enough fluid in the brain mucus to tan a hide of every
To
animal you
tan
shoot.
it, yeah. Well, he's got a deer himself, so he's going to use that
Yeah.
if he keeps the hide we gave him. He put his hide in the deep freeze, but we keep their food here at our house for them because they're off grid. So we keep their food here, and we have a deep freeze that we loaned them, and we use their little one. But we gave him our other one because he's got a class coming up, and he's going to use the brain from the other one that he has hanging. And then if we get another one next week, we'll take it in and we'll keep it, because they asked Kevin if he wanted it back, and he said no, because we had already given him the hide. So
Yeah.
if he wants that, then we'll bring it back to him and he can use it for hide tanning. Yeah, I'm intrigued by it, but I don't have the patience for it. It's not something I want to do. Now, if it was a cowhide, I might think differently.
Well,
Yeah.
it's the same process.
I know it's the same process, but I think cowhides are prettier. Depending on what they look, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know if Brenda's asking if we have a lifetime, or do we have lifetime licenses available? Your hunting license is lifetime, but you can't buy a lifetime deer tag.
So our lifetime license, like mine covers all my tags and everything for the year. Like whenever I shot an elk, because there was and it's a crazy story. So there's not very many elk in Oklahoma, but I accidentally run across one on one of my hunting leases one time, and I called the game warden just to make sure that my license was covered for the elk, and he says as long as you haven't reached the numbers of them yet in your county, you're fine. So
Wow. I didn't know there were elk in Oklahoma.
yeah.
See, and
That's cool.
I don't know what your lifetime license is there, but it's like $1,000 for a lifetime license.
So I bought a combination hunting and fishing license, lifetime license. Whenever I did my hunter's education course. I was 15, and I paid, I want to say, $275 and $225.
Wow.
And
See, it's
now,
it's like $1,000 for hunting and $1,000 for the fishing.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's not like I don't know how much it is now. I'd have to look.
Now,
I had-
Kevin doesn't. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. You're all right.
No, you go ahead.
I was going to look into buying Landon one because Landon likes to hunt and fish, and it actually pays for itself because you don't have to buy tags every year. It's
Oh,
covered
when
for
he was
coverage.
at end, if it pays for tags, yes, it 100% does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After,
Ours doesn't. That just takes care of your annual license, is all ours does.
Does it?
So it's
It pays for your tags too, Mitchell?
yeah.
So, like for us,
Yeah.
our hunting combination hunt and fish for resident, and I have to have a fur bearer in order to do any trapping or any of that. It's like $90.
So Brenda just put
Wow.
this. So it's how long ago was that, Brenda? Because I got mine. What? Close to 20 years ago. 25 years ago.
Yeah, the younger the better.
Deborah is cracking me up over here. She's trying to get us to dress up like a deer.
Yeah. So Kevin has a lifetime exemption for the hunter safety course because of I don't know if it was his military because yeah, I think it was, but he took it he's hunted twice in his life. One was a youth hunt, to tell you how long it's been, and then today. So he doesn't ever have to take it again, is my point. Now
So-
I would have to take it.
Brenda just looked it up at $775 for a combo.
Holy
Does
moly.
that include tags, Brenda?
Yeah, it
And
does.
and that's for Missouri too?
Oklahoma.
Oh, well, we don't.
Missouri's completely different.
If you think about it, for a lifetime, that's not bad.
Well, if you were like Landon's age, it would more than pay for it. So
Well, yeah, that's why. Like,
Yeah.
whenever I was old enough, so after you turn, I want to say it's 35. You don't have to do hunter's education in Oklahoma, but pre that you have to do hunter safety course.
Mm-hmm.
So I took it just because I always hunted I was always hunting when I was Landon's age. Like if I wasn't in the woods, I was playing sports.
Yeah. My brothers hunted. They pheasant, duck. I don't know if I know they rabbit hunted. I don't know if they ever deer hunted until, I guess they did. I just didn't care about it at that time.
What's up, Al? Senior combos, $25.
Al's muted.
Yeah, I know.
I'm just getting tired. It's 20 after 1, so I'm gonna take off.
Oh,
All right,
Oh.
Al, thanks for coming up.
Good to see you, Al.
Good to see you guys too.
Talk to you later.
Thanks for having me. And I'll catch y'all on the next one, guys.
All right.
See you
later.
tomorrow. Well, today for him. I forgot it was so late there.
Yeah.
He must be like
Yeah.
East Coast time, isn't he?
Yeah.
I think it sounds like it. So I have a question. We were talking about this on a live or on a chat with my friends. That's what it was. How do you tell? Like they say, get the younger does.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to get one that has babies, obviously. But A, why do they do hunting when they're rutting and they're going to get pregnant? And B, how do you tell? And I know, I know the weather thing and all that, but B, as far as hunting during this season, but B, how do you tell a younger and an older doe? I mean, is it size?
Some of it.
Size. You can kind of tell how gray they are.
Mm-hmm.
Their face starts turning grayer and grayer the older they get. You can kind of tell by the shape of their nose and their mouth, body size.
Instead of it being a real pointed nose, they'll
Yep.
have a real rounded face, rounded
rounded.
nose.
The
Yeah.
older will
Yeah.
have one. Okay, so then when Kevin turned the head in, he had to measure the eyes,
Mm-hmm.
and I think one of them was 5 inches or something. He explained it to me, but I'm
Yeah.
hunting for Devin here.
Well, there's a lot to it. It's just doing it for a long time. You can just look at one and be like, well, that one's pretty old, or that one's a little young. Like
Last year I
It's smaller
yeah, well,
usually.
sometimes the older they get, their frame sizes are bigger, but the mass is smaller. So because
Okay.
they can't eat because their teeth start falling out, and
I was gonna say
Makes
last
sense.
year, the buck that I harvested last year, literally you could grab a hold of his teeth and just barely wiggle and they would come out. I did him a favor.
Oh, bless his heart. Oh, wow. Deer tags are yearly in Kansas. I bought a lifetime for my kids at age 10. Cost me around $400. My last kiddo was around $40.
Yeah, now the
No.
combination 963, Rhonda. So thanks for that. You corrected me.
Oh, wow.
well,
Ouch.
you say close to 1,000.
Yeah.
The combo is, well, Brendan put in the 775 here, so and you
Yeah.
don't have to buy tags. So
You can't get a lifetime fur bearer if I remember right. I'll have to get into my book and see.
A lifetime what?
Fur bearer.
Yeah.
See, in order to like raccoon hunt or trap any kind of coyotes, anything like that, you have to have a
Bobcats,
fur
yeah.
bearer license here.
Oh, gotcha.
coyote, the coyote you do?
Coyote, actually, you can do a coyote with a hunting license, but you can't sell the hide.
So coyotes in Oklahoma, the only time you have to have a hunting license, the same way with pigs, the only time you have to have a hunting license is if it is during another big game season. Yeah.
See, pigs are
So-
not controlled by the Kansas Department of Wildlife. They're controlled by the USDA. They're feral.
So they're the same way they are here. That's why there's no hunting permits required for pigs.
So
Actually,
you're
you have to be
saying,
listed on a permit, but by the land under the landowner's name here. Actually,
yeah, in Texas, you can hunt them anytime.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
like down at my
Mm.
dad's place, we went down there 4 years ago and we shot like 160 pigs.
and didn't put a dent in it.
No,
Mm-hmm. Mm-mm.
no,
Mm-mm.
it's just as bad now.
I helped the USDA up here in their hog program, and they flew with a helicopter, and they used double-aught buck and Benelli semi-autos.
Mhm.
And yeah, we harvested like 200 and some odd in one weekend.
Hey,
Yeah.
Graywood.
We did. Hey, Gray Wolf. Me and my cousins went. We went out on gate. Well, I don't want to tell the whole story. It makes it sound really, really bad. But we were kind of doing the same thing, but off of gators.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It
Where
was,
were you?
What's up, Gray Wolf?
So my dad lives about an hour and a half south of me. So
Oh, okay, okay.
here in Oklahoma.
I
So
didn't realize you had gators there.
no, like gators, like the ATV gator,
Oh,
like John Deere
You see
gators.
what I mean? If I got the 3, Rhonda just posted that. If I got all 3, it'd be 1,500 for me.
oh, ouch! I don't have that kind of money. No, I'll just have them spend the $7 next week.
I don't have any idea on the fur bearers. I haven't bought a fur bearer's license in Oklahoma in a long time. I don't think it's covered under my lifetime.
Can we go back to the coyote real quick?
Yes.
So, if the coyote is going after another animal that's in hunting season, then you can kill it.
No, so
Is
in Oklahoma, you can
yeah.
shoot a coyote any time of the year. The only time you have to have a license for a coyote is during deer, elk, bear seasons.
Do you have a lotto for bear? Do you do it
So
like Missouri?
Oklahoma just started bear season again. I think it was 2010, and it started in the county I live in. So there's not a lotto. So
Like a
there's daily.
draw?
No, it's a daily. Um, you have to go on to the Department of Wildlife and you have to check the numbers.
Good
And,
job, Gray Wolf. That's
Uh,
a 400.
that's awesome.
Yay!
Yeah, you have to check the numbers to make sure that someone hasn't. So I don't think it's. I don't remember what the numbers are. I'd have to look again because I don't go bear hunting, but the numbers are say 20, and you go out and you're going to hunt one, and if you're like number 21, you get a fine.
If there's only 20 bear
Right. If the lot's only
listed,
20 and you shoot number 21, you're getting a fine
I got
because
you.
you're
If you
responsible
report
for
it.
looking. Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Well, when you get a bear, everybody knows.
Oh yeah, I imagine.
Everybody knows.
Yeah. So I want to tell you a quick story. My son flew with Ted Nugent probably about 5, 6 years ago, and he went up in the copter, and he spent the whole weekend. They had a big camp and did the whole weekend. They went hog hunting, and my son, um, he he used to do this. He'd go out and he'd go to farms for farmers and get the hogs because you know what they do. And then he would take that meat and give them to homeless shelters or to, boys' homes or girls' homes so they would have pork. And the organization would pay for the processing. And he did that for many years, but he said he'll never forget his time with Ted Nugent. He had such a good time, and he was really neat guy. And so there,
I would
that's
love to go
my
hunt.
claim to fame through
I
him.
would love to go hunt on any of Ted's land,
Oh
like
yeah,
for any of the deer that he does. Because that's like bow hunting is like my favorite thing in the world to do. Because anybody can go out and shoot something with a gun. It doesn't take a whole lot, and I say this because I've hunted my whole life. It does
yeah,
not take a whole lot. You have to find them. Okay, so there's a little bit of skill involved there. I'm not saying that they're not skilled individuals that are hunting with rifles. That's not what I'm getting at.
right.
But to go hunting with a recurve bow, and you have to get 25 yards max away from them to shoot them is
Yeah,
a whole nother hunting. And I'm not picking on anybody that does compounds or crossbows or
Yeah.
rifles. That's just how I like to hunt because I've
Kevin and I just had that discussion yesterday, and he said, I really want to learn to bow hunt. And we were talking about compound bow hunting, though,
Yeah.
or whatever you trigger, and how you have to be so incredibly accurate and precise with your shot with that, opposed to a gun. I mean,
there's nothing. I think to get
you have to be
anybody
quick.
in, yeah, you have to be quick. But the two to get like to get my kids involved in it, going out there with a rifle for them for the first time, I think was
Mhm.
important for them to get um that step out of the way.
Experience. Yeah.
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 And like I said, there's nothing wrong with anybody. That's just how I like to hunt. Like
Yeah.
bow is where it's at.
We'll
But
see, like, go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm on
that's
a
all right.
delay a little bit, so I'm sorry.
It's okay, Jan. I got a friend that I used to hunt with whenever I was younger. He bow hunts too, but he could go sit in the tree stand, be smoking a cigarette, opening a can of pop, and that sucker would kill a deer every darn
Oh,
time I went out with him. But I could go out there with the scent blocker, put bags in the clothes, and
yeah.
I could see them, but they wouldn't come close to me because they'd start blowing or something.
Yep.
And all of a sudden you'd hear on the radio, "Hey, I got one down up here. You want to come up here?" Shit, no, I know.
Well, Kevin's first shot, he he's it wasn't 25 feet away, and he sighted the gun yesterday. And when he first shot it, it was spot on. But when he went out yesterday and sighted it, it was way off to the right. So he re-sighted it. We don't know how how it got off like that. But in our friend made a pallet, what do you call it? Blind. And when he did it, he put the holes a little too low, and he had a stool in there. It was a little too high. Kevin's 6'2". You met him. He's
Oh, yeah.
tall. So he's crouched down, and man, when he's trying to hit this first deer, and it was a doe, and he said it was looking right at him, just looking right at him, and he had the perfect shot, and he shot, and it went right up his nose, the barrel. I go, I see you got nailed with the barrel again. He goes, yeah. So he told our friend Sam, you need to raise or get a lower stool or raise your holes.
Yeah.
You're going to use that because Sam's tall too. He goes, yeah, I noticed that, dude. But then, what was I going to tell you? The second one, she was right there, and he was so frustrated for missing that first one. He hadn't smoked all day, and he lit up a cigarette. He said, I had it, Jan. I was so mad. So he lit up a cigarette and was smoking, and here she comes. And he said she never the first shot, the first doe, the gun clicked. Nothing. And he had to reload while the doe was standing there, and that's what's scary. That's why he missed that one. So the second one comes along, he's smoking a cigarette in the blind.
But I'm
And
a firm believer that deer aren't scared from cigarette smoke.
I
Because
don't
smoke
think
is a
obvious.
natural occurring thing. They've smelled smoke every year.
Yep. And I bought
That's
him this
something.
deer urine to put down to scrape. I said, make sure you scrape, put it down. And he said, I totally forgot to do it. And he was like so surprised that doe didn't run because, he said, I real quietly set the cigarette down,
Because we
But,
used to have we used to have a guy, a friend that we hunted with since I was a little kid, and he smoked, and he would kill deer after deer after deer, and he'd sit there and smoke in the stand, and
yeah,
everybody's like, you can't smoke. And I'm like, I don't buy that because
Obviously, it didn't affect
they
that
smell
deer.
pastures burning and everything else.
No,
That's
I agree with you just because of the experiences I've had. I think it's just the enjoyment of it for me. And I don't smoke, so I don't have to really worry about it.
right.
Yeah,
He
exactly.
prepping. Yeah. Well, he was gonna get the pouches, and we kept looking for him, and no one had them. And I'm like, well, just turn around and go back to Casey's. They'll probably have it because I didn't even know he did that. And he's he goes, nah. He said, I'll just not smoke. And but that first the rifle not engaging, and then he had to take it out. He had to click it back and put a new bullet
Yep.
in. He was so frustrated with it, but he
A friend
got
of
it. Hey,
mine-
Rebecca.
A friend of mine, how he deer hunts every year is he just takes one of his tractors and drives to the middle of one of his crop fields and sets in his tractor or starts working ground because they're used to seeing it every day of the week. you know?
Yeah. And I have another friend that lives on what's that big forest? Oh God,
Mark
I have
Twain.
Mark Twain. They live on the back 500 acres of the Mark Twain, and they got a back screen in porch, and then their kitchen window opens, and he'd sit out that dang kitchen window and shoot. He said, why am I going to go out and freeze every day?
Yeah.
Yeah. He missed a big 10-point buck yesterday. He was really bummed out. And it was chasing a doe, and the doe came out, and then the buck came out, popped his head out, and got skittish. He didn't move, so it wasn't him. But I said, well, that's how deer do. They're a little
That
funky.
is right.
Anymore, I like to I took Nina hunting with me a few years back, and we're sitting in the deer blind, and she's like, "What are you doing? There's deer all around us." I was like, "Yeah, I've already had got like 3 deer at this point in the year," and I was like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, I'm really just, I'm looking for the big one." So I just sat there, and she's like, "You don't really deer hunt anymore, you just deer watch." And I was like, "Yeah, I know. It's peaceful just to come out in the woods and
That's
Yeah.
me. So last year I bow hunted most all of November and was kind of chasing a bigger buck because I hadn't really seen anything that kind of tripped my trigger ever since I've killed this big one behind me. And this deer kind of did. So I got back out of bow and like got back into bow hunting and sat there. And I could sit there just every night and just forget about everything else going on, and watch deer, watch squirrels, watch,
That's what Kevin said.
and I seen that buck twice, probably 85 yards away through the brush. And then it come gun season and I seen him once and it was too dark. And then this older deer come walking through like the third night, and I'm like, all right, I'm done with this. I was done.
so
Wow.
the scariest thing ever. I was up in a tree stand, and I'm just sitting there, and all I have is my bow with me. I had a compound bow with me at the time, and I'm sitting up in this tree stand, and all of a sudden I hear this god awful scream, like,
Oh.
and it's like right here, like it's right beside me, like, and I'm just sitting there,
Oh.
just relaxing, kind of waiting for the sun to come up because I get out there pretty early, and I'm just sitting there, and all of a sudden I hear this scream, and all I could think to myself is, "Do I get out of the tree? Because I know this thing can climb."
Oh.
It scared.
What was it?
It was a big old like mountain lion, cougar, whatever you
Oh,
want
a
to call them.
cougar.
So
Or not. Yeah, it could have been a mountain lion.
yeah, well, if you talk to the
Yeah.
the Oklahoma Fish and Game, there are no mountain lions in this part of Oklahoma. But I can show the
Well,
Kansas
dang
said that.
picture.
Kansas said that too until they hit one up there on 70, and then
Yeah,
the news had it all over it. And then they're like, "Oh well, their area is big enough. They travel from Colorado." Listen, it's in
yeah,
Illinois.
whatever.
I don't
yeah,
think it made it from Colorado to Lawrence, Kansas, buddy.
Exactly.
yeah.
We had them in Texas when they started developing the neighborhood we lived in. And everyone kept saying, we had the neighborhood app, and they're like, mountain lion sighted, in this area where we lived. And we're like, okay. And then there's this one house, one area in particular that it kept showing up at. And the guy, one of the neighbors behind us, came by and he said, I just want to let you know, if you're walking, the mountain lion is back here behind this house they're building. And we're like, okay, cool. Because I mean, there's a lot of kids in the area, and everyone is all freaked out. And I said, the truth is, 9 times out of 10, they're not going to bother you. Or if they're hungry, now hold on, Mitchell. If they're hungry, they will come after you. But everyone that saw the mountain lion, I mean, like, it was so skittish and ran away. Now in California, mountain lions, they'll jump you and kill you, because they're hungrier, but where we lived, there was a lot of food sources. So, and mostly because they were building and it was digging up a lot of stuff. I mean, we had rabbits and squirrels and coons. I mean, they had all sorts of food to eat. But let me assure you, I never went walking down that street by myself ever.
So
No.
the not the same place. It's about 5 miles away. So whenever people would have a lot of coyote problems eating chickens and stuff, whenever I was a kid, everybody would call me and say, "Hey, can you come take care of the coyotes that we got here?" So I had moved back to Glencoe when the kids about 5-6 years ago, and one of the guys that I used to do it for all the time, he called me and said, "Hey, I'm getting chickens missing left and right. Do you mind coming out and sitting out here for a little bit?" So I'm out there. And I'm sitting by this little pond because a lot of the time those bobcats and coyotes, that's where they like to come by the pond, and then they'd go up to his chicken coop. You could see the tracks.
Mm-hmm.
So I had my rifle sitting there, and I'm watching, and I'd been there for a couple hours at this point. Well, then there were 3 little baby bobcats. And then they were fat little turds too, so that's what was eating his chickens.
Oh
But
yeah.
I wanted to get some pictures for the kids, So I pulled out my phone, and I'm sitting there taking pictures, and all of a sudden I see this really long tail, and I'm like, "What?" Looking at the phone. I'm not looking out there. I'm just looking through my phone, and I see that, and I'm like,
Oh.
that's not good. So I reached down to get the gun, and all you see is just the tail whipping, running away from me. And
Oh.
a friend of mine was rabbit hunting about a half a mile away, and I didn't think that much about it. Well, I'm walking out, he's walking out, and we parked pretty close to each other. He comes up to me, he's like, "Dude, did you see that big? Was that a mountain lion out there by where you were at?" I was like, "Yeah, I just seen it in the camera." He's like, "That thing had been watching you the whole time." He's like, "I was watching the binoculars." I was like,
No
"Well,
way.
that's good to know."
That's real
Wow.
reassuring.
Hope
So
he was armed.
Oh yeah, we both were. So I told Paul, the guy that owned the land, I told him, I said, "Man, there's a big mountain lion out here," and he's like, Yeah, that's what somebody said, but I had never seen it. And I showed him the picture of it, and he's like, "Oh,
Oh, yeah.
so
Yeah.
See, I stomped timber in the dark for all my life. And I always told everybody, I'm like, I'll believe there's a mountain lion when I see one, but I'm out there all over the woods every night. And
Uh-huh.
I was actually headed to work one morning, and there was a mama and 2 cubs in
Oh.
this field hunting mice out there. And I stopped and I watched them probably for 15 minutes before they figured out I was, quarter mile away watching them, and they were gone. And from that point on, I was like, yeah, I'm not coon hunting that section of ground anymore.
well,
Oh, that's right.
they have a pretty big area that they travel every day.
Oh, yeah. they do.
Yes. And we lived by Canyon Lake in Texas, so they were there. They went all the way there. They went over a busy road and went to the lake. They were spotted at the lake, and then they come back into our neighborhood, and then they'd go down the road into another neighborhood. And it was crazy. It was crazy. We're like, nah, they're no mountain lion. But yeah, that what our neighbor got a picture of it, and that's really what sealed the deal for me. I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, there won't be any more walks.
Well, it's funny because pretty close to where Paul lives at, I grew up a mile and a half from there, and like my mom swore to to everything that she would see these mountain lions all the time, and I was just like, no, teenager, I knew more than my mom did because I was out in the woods a
Uh-huh.
lot.
Yeah.
No, there still
Yep.
are
Well,
because
the scream is
oh,
just undeniable. You
it will
yeah,
give you chills
yes.
to your. I mean,
Yeah.
My
for
favorite thing to do is take somebody who has never been out in the timber at night following hounds and get out there, and the first time they hear a screech owl, they'll try to
Oh,
jump on top of your head scared to death.
yeah. We have a
And they're
lot
like,
of them out here.
what is that? And I'm like, an owl.
Sasquatch.
Yeah. Well, I
Yeah.
didn't ever hear one until we moved here to Missouri, and I was sitting out on our porch and I hear this noise, and I'm like, "What's that?" Because it's all dark out there. And,
So my
yeah.
uncle and my cousin farm to the northeast of me, kind of over by the Missouri line, and they were cutting soybeans, and there's a pretty big flock of turkeys up there by them. There's a peacock that's flocked up with all these turkeys. My dad was cutting them has been helping him cutting beans. He was running one combine. My cousin was running the other one. And my cousin called up my dad and he's like, is that a peacock out there with those turkeys? And dad turns the combine around to go back that direction. And he's like, yeah, it is. And
Oh
he
my
said that
gosh.
the peacock just thinks he's one of the turkeys.
That's too funny. Hey, Madwood, we're in southwest Missouri near Lake Stockton. He was asking. They were asking. I'm assuming it's a he. I don't know why, but anyway, yeah, we're near Lake Stockton. Are y'all gonna make it for our meetup
Plan on it.
in June?
I haven't
in
registered on your
June?
deal yet, but we plan on it.
Cool.
Did you say June?
June 9th, 10th, and 11th. It's a camp out.
So that's too far for me to say yes or no to at this time.
I know, but if you think you might be able to, you need to reserve your camping spot because it's Stockton Park, Lake Stockton Park, and it's a smaller of the parks. And get it's called the South Park, but it's the East campsite. Don't even ask me why.
It looks really pretty on your video.
It is so pretty. It's so gorgeous, and we're right by the marina, so you can bring you can get free launching if you have a boat and bring it, and it's got RV hookups, 30 and 50 amp, and then you can bring your paddle boards or your kayaks or your canoe. We're bringing our kayaks, and we're going to go out on the lake, and we're going to have a little fishing tournament for the kids and a raffle and play some fun games. And we're, y'all, it's just going to be so laid back. Backwood Misfits, Stephen and I are hosting it, and it's not a big gang. I don't know, whatever the word is.
Shindig.
It's not it's not a big shindig. It's just the laid back, hey, let's get together, camp out, have a great weekend, get to know each other, make connections, have fun, and you don't even have to, we're not, it's really, I mean, there's going to be a lot of YouTubers there, but it's not about YouTube. It's about let's just get together and have a great weekend. And they have a beach for the kids, so yeah, we just plan on having a great time. And yeah. So if anyone wants to donate for the raffle, they can email me at simplyjan@gmail.com. Thank you for the plug.
I don't mind.
But we're really
Night,
excited
Rhonda.
about it. Yeah.
I bet it was busy. Rhonda's out there where they have they host breakfast for the opening weekend of pheasant and quail season and stuff like that.
Oh, nice.
So
Yeah, my
she's been
brother
working
was
on
a
that.
huge pheasant hunting. He was in all the hunting clubs and did all that kind of stuff.
Last
And
few years we went out on opening weekend, but we didn't go this year we just stayed around here and quail hunted. But we'll be going out west pretty soon.
what do you shoot quail with, Dale?
I use a 28 gauge
28.
shotgun.
Okay. We
use
had
12.
some quail at the end of our driveway in our pasture. Wild quail. I saw them last year. I was like, those are quail. And there's a bunch of them, but I don't have
Don't say
anything.
that too much. You'll have hunters there everywhere.
Well, I don't have anything to kill them with. So.
I use a 12 gauge.
12 gauge, yeah.
Okay, Rhonda. Yeah, I don't know. They're so small. I remember my brother skeet shooting, doing the practice in the backyard, and I was like, I don't know. I mean, I tried it, but I was real young. I was like, I don't know how
Not
y'all
any
do
kind of
it.
shotgun you can use it.
Yeah.
We've kind of all, my dad and I and my cousin, and we've kind of all got into that. We like that 28 gauge. It's like a nice, smaller, light round that, it'll get out there and get the job done, but it's not like blow your shoulder off and, but
Yeah.
20, we were kind of all into 12 gauge and 20 gauges. Now we're down to 28s. So
Is that smaller than a 22?
That's
22 is a rifle. So
Oh, okay. You see what I know? I have a 22. I just okay. Yeah, I've got a lot to learn when
the
it comes.
bigger the number in a shotgun, the smaller it is. The smaller the size of the shell.
Well, okay, cool. 410 here.
410. So a 28's actually between a 410 and a 20 gauge
That is a rifle
shotgun.
shotgun. So what's 30-06 rifle?
Rifle.
Okay.
Big.
One of the most questionable best rounds, argumentative best rounds of again.
Yeah.
That's what Kevin used today. And my friend texts me, just heard a big boom. I go, well, it does have a big boom.
When I grew up in Missouri hunting deer, we used 30-30s.
Yeah, I didn't know if the 30-30 and the 30-06 was the same. A friend of mine was saying that. I'm like, okay. And I'm thinking in my head that's the same thing. Hey, Wendy.
Hi, Wendy.
Hello.
Yeah. 30. So a 30-30 is not as
Brush.
powerful as a 30-06, or
Not even close. It's a 30-30's got it's a really heavy round for like brush, where a 30-06 is more of a long range, faster, flatter round.
yeah. See, I don't shoot that. I'll shoot the 22 or my 9.
I kind of I have a lot of things that go boom.
Yeah.
A lot of things. Like my wife told me I wanted a new one for Christmas. She said, "You got 6 unopened boxes in your safe.
Oh dear.
You can wait." I was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
okay, stingy."
Well, I made a big mistake when I got our last 30-06 because I forgot we had a 30-06, and I was so proud of myself for going. I went to Bass Pro and I got one. And Kevin looks, I bring it home and I'm super excited about it. And he goes, "Babe, we already have one." And I'm like, "No, we don't." He goes, "Now we have 2." And I'm
Nothing
like,
wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that. Like,
well,
you
that's
probably
true.
couldn't name a round that I don't have. I mean, I have a
Plethora.
a fetish.
plethora.
Yeah,
Plethora.
yeah, of them.
I'm working on it.
Well, and
I mean,
it hasn't. So a lot of people have this huge misconception with the reason why I collect them. I collect them because that was a big thing when I was a kid. Like we would go out every weekend and we would go shoot or do something, you know. And a
mhm.
lot of people think, oh well, you're just one of them crazy, gun people. It's not that at all. I just genuinely like them, like just to go shoot.
Yeah.
And it's
Thank you,
just
Brenda. I
just fun.
see. I'm like you, Mitchell. I want to have a variety of different things. Like my 9 mil is super heavy for me, and but I finally learned how to shoot it this year, and hit the target. When I got it, I hit bullseyes the whole time, and then I didn't use it for a while. And I couldn't even hit the target if my life depended on it. But then I realized I wasn't looking at the right spot. And my friend goes, "When you're shooting, what are you looking at, Jana?" And I go, "I'm closing my eyes and I'm looking down there." And she goes, "No, no, no, no." And so she taught me on Marco how to shoot my gun. And then I was like nailing it. There was a couple times I didn't, but I was nailing it all the time. But she's got one. It's a 38, I think.
Mhm.
Super light. Super, super. I said, well, if I had to like defend myself, say, would I be able to use that? And she goes, "Oh yeah." Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I
So
think don't quote me on what it is. All I know is it's super light and I could handle it beautifully. So
So right now there's a big debate in the firearm industry of whether or not a 22 is capable of it. And I mean, Dale, you've shot a 22. If you shoot something with a 22, it's gonna maim it for sure, right?
yeah,
So,
yeah.
like my wife, like she's really good with like her 9, but Like I would honestly prefer her to pick up the 22 because I know she's more comfortable shooting it. If she's more comfortable with it, I would rather use that than a like I like 45
That's the main
ACP.
thing. You have to be comfortable with
Yeah.
whatever you're carrying.
Exactly.
I like 45 ACP. I can, but also my grandpa was a firearms instructor. My uncle was a firearms instructor. I grew up doing 3-gun competition, so I can
Ah.
literally shoot two 45 ACPs at the same time and hit the targets.
Oh, wow.
But we did. Like when I say we did shooting
Yeah.
for like all the time.
Oh, you'd
Yep.
laugh at me. Because I have to really
Jan,
focus.
Brenda was talking about the shotgun and 22 combination up there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
The 410 22. I always wanted one of those.
I have.
I
You can buy
have
them
heard
again. You
about
can buy them
410.
again now.
Can you buy them again now? I haven't
Yeah.
even looked.
You've always been able to, but the you can buy. There's one brand that's pretty cheap. It's a Rossi, and it's a
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
good one. It's a pretty good 410 over under 22.
That's what it's called, a 410 over under 22.
Yeah, over under 410 22 Yeah.
Why is it called that?
because one's over and one's under.
2 barrels, one on top
Yeah.
of the other one.
Oh,
It's 2
Okay.
different types of projectiles, so you have to have 2 different types of barrels.
2 different bullets? Same.
Yeah,
Yes.
Oh.
and you
Oh.
can't get them mixed up.
They
Yeah.
were bad.
Getcha.
What they were really good for was the old time farm homestead. Like when you were just going out and getting supper or whatever, you had either one. So like you could shoot a bird, you could shoot a squirrel, you could whatever, you know. That they were a good survivalist.
Do they shoot at the same time?
No,
No.
there's two. A lot of them have 2 triggers. So one will be your
Okay.
22, one will be your shotgun shell.
I like that.
So I have a it's a 20 gauge with a 22 Magnum.
Oh, I'd never seen one of those.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
That appeals to me even more.
And
Yeah.
then
That
I
would
have,
be a predator hunting, calling.
I would like to find. So I seen one time. It's a 2017 HMR.
Oh, excuse me.
Oh yeah, that
Prepping
definitely.
for Eternity has an antique 22 rifle. That's cool. See, I love the detail on the antique guns and knives, and they don't make it that way anymore. And if they do, they charge an arm and a leg, and I'm not
Oh yeah,
gonna be, I'm not in it for that, but I'm in it for what I need it for. So, yeah.
So whenever Nina and I got married, she bought me a double barrel over under 12 gauge and had 24 karat gold inlaid in the side of it with my name and everything on it. And
Oh,
it was one of my guns that got stolen.
no way.
no! And they never found it. Never.
Oh no, they found it, but the receiver was bad, so it was just trash because they ground all the gold off of it. It's like, you morons, you could have melted the gold off of it. And
Oh
but
my
anyway.
gosh! Hey, Jerry, how are you?
Hi Jerry.
Hey, Jerry. But yeah,
Oh, that's so sad.
22 of them at one time.
Wow.
No way.
Wow. My sister-in-law's dad passed many years ago, and they went in his attic and they were cleaning it out. And forgive me, I don't remember what kind of gun. It was a revolver, and it had the original paperwork, and it was from one of the outlaws. So Jesse James. I don't know for sure if it was Jesse James, but it had the original paperwork. It was authenticated. but I don't think it was Jesse James. It was someone else, and I do not know what he did with that. He couldn't believe he had found it. He thought it was a fake, so he took it to, because he was involved in hunting all his life, and he took it to a friend who had done that kind of authentication.
Yep.
How do you say that? And he said, dude, this is the real thing. It is worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. And I asked him about it before he passed away, and he goes, oh, I don't know what you're talking about. I go, yes, you do. And I still don't know what he did with it. I don't know if my sister-in-law has it, or if they gave it to their son or what. But I mean, they're all hunters, so I know they never got rid of that, because not because it's worth so much money, but because it was gorgeous. It was just absolutely gorgeous. And and it was an antique, and it was from one of the outlaws. I wish I could remember who it was. But yeah, he said he opened the case. It had the old original case, and it had the paperwork in there, and he was like, there's no way. My brother about dropped a jaw.
Hmm.
Yeah, he told me the whole story, and then I said, well, what'd you do with that? And he goes, I don't know what you're talking about. And I go, oh, whatever. Maybe he was sick. I don't know.
When my grandpa passed away, all of the family heirloom guns that were in the family for however long, I got all of those. So I got some pretty neat ones.
They didn't steal those.
Well, so that's the reason why I got them, is because my uncle or my grandpa was afraid that my uncles and my cousins would get them and sell them. So
Oh,
he's like, I know you're not going to let them go. So I got all of my grandpa. So I got a rolling block, a Sharps rifle, two sheriff model 45s. There's a lot. But
wow, that's awesome.
the rolling block's pretty sweet. I shot it one time
Really?
just to say that I did.
Yeah.
Can you shoot it again?
Yeah,
It's one of those though that you just
you don't want to.
You don't want to.
exactly.
Yeah.
They were buffalo guns.
Oh, wow.
That's what they were.
The cartridge
They
is
were
like
known
a
for.
shot long.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Did it knock you on your butt when you shot it, or no?
No.
It was smooth.
No, it wasn't smooth. I wouldn't let you shoot it.
Well, the 30-06 about, I'm
It's
like, whoa.
it's a little bit more than a 30-06, but
Well, yeah,
Wild Madwood
shooting
barbecue.
buffalo, I know.
See,
That's for
Jerry,
sure.
CJ,
But I'm a trooper. I'll still shoot the 30-06. I mean, I've learned how to position it on my shoulder, and how to do it, and keep my nose away from
the worst one I
getting
probably
knocked out.
have. I have a 50 BMG, and
oh,
No idea what that is.
it's a big damn gun.
it's a
It
big
is.
military gun. Like the projectile's like the size of your thumb.
So
It's big.
The what?
The projectile's like the size of your thumb.
Oh, no. I won't be shooting that in my lifetime unless I have 3 men behind me and one.
you don't
shooting.
want anybody behind you, because it hurts worse. Well, it doesn't now because I put a
Well,
muzzle brake and stuff on it, but
As long as I'm not holding it, I'll shoot the trigger.
it's pretty fun one.
You ever
I'll
shot
just
prairie
stand
dogs with
for
that?
that.
I
see-
invoked my Fifth Amendment right.
I seen a video with the guy shooting prairie dogs with one, and it was amazing. It was awesome.
I invoked my Fifth Amendment right.
Uh,
That 338 Lapua though, It'll do some damage to one.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Well, aren't prairie dogs otherwise known as coyotes? Technically speaking. No, I'm just kidding.
Well,
Uh,
I can't say that I plead the fifth on the coyotes. So there's a Texas. You know what a Texas heart shot is? You hit one.
No.
You hit one in the front or the back, and it'll literally split them open. Like,
Oh dear.
and yeah,
Well,
with just about any big gun. You can do it with a 308 too.
really?
Yeah, that's 308 is probably my favorite round all around.
Is that bigger than just 2 notches up from a 30-06?
They're the same bullet.
It
different-
is.
the-
Okay.
Just way
the-
more powder.
No,
I
no.
got you.
Yeah, it is a squirrel gun, that's for sure. There's really not that much more
Yeah.
powder in a 30-06 than a 308. There's not a whole lot of difference.
Huh.
Bullet length. I reload all my own ammo, and that's the only reason why I know the actual bullets travel close enough speed where the average person is not going to notice a difference. There's just
Yeah.
less of a kick with the 308.
Really?
Yeah. 7mm Ultra
Oh.
Mag. I'm out.
Yeah, I've never been a big fan of the 7 mags.
That's better known as a mule.
Yeah.
Wow.
It kick your arm clear off for really not that great of a round, in my opinion.
So I have an uncle that is an FFL dealer on the other
Mhm.
side of the family, and he has he's the one that I always did all the shooting stuff with, and he has some really cool stuff. I like to
Hey,
go.
Treasure Hunter. Hi, Blue. Morning to
Hey.
you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
But my second favorite round is probably 22-250.
Mhm.
22-250 or 25-06 is probably like the guns I would let my kids. I would probably like it Landon shoot if he's not shooting one that he likes to shoot. I would probably say 25-06 or 22-250. 22-250 is really nice.
So I could shoot it.
I mean, yeah, they're less than it's less of a kick. Well, the 25-06, it's got a pretty good punch.
Well, now I can shoot the 22 perfectly fine.
It's 25-06. It's
Stronger.
22-250 is like,
It's a bottlenecked 243.
yeah. So it's like your 30-06, just a couple sizes under it.
So it's a 30-06.
Oh.
So a 30-06 round bottlenecked down to a 22-250 or a 22 round. So
Oh,
you still
okay,
have
I'm
all of that
following.
powder. It's your bullet speed is it's a pretty hopped up little round. It's like a
Okay.
6.5
I'm
Creedmoor.
following you. Yeah. I'm learning a lot tonight.
I could talk about this kind of stuff forever because I have a huge obsession about it. And a lot of people on here, they're like, "Well, why would you talk about it? Then people know what you have." Good luck. That's all I'm saying. Good luck.
Yeah. Yeah. We
mean,
we
I
don't
can
tell everyone everything we have.
I can see you a mile away coming to my house, and if
Mhm.
you don't think that I can't touch you a mile away, you're crazy.
Exactly.
Brenda, stuff is shipping out, just it's taking time because there's a lot of stuff to ship and a lot of money to ship a lot of stuff.
Yeah. I just had to ship a bunch of I did. They were from back when Mindset had his 1-year sobriety giveaway, and I just shipped everything except to Nicole Chaff, because I need to fill out a custom forms and we're in a hurry. And I told her, I texted her, I was like, Nicole, I'm sorry, I just didn't have time to do it. And so I'm going to send it this week. But yeah, it costs some money. And then when they were doing it, they weren't doing my little envelopes as a package, and it was like $4. And I'm like, last time I mailed it was $1.44. And she goes, silly, why didn't you tell me you wanted to? I was doing tracking and all this. So the last two she did.
We have like
That's better.
our post office, the lady when you go in there, like I've tried to send like soft koozies and stuff, and other people send them like in a regular envelope,
Hmm.
and she's a Nazi.
Really?
Like she'll fill it, and she's like, this has a koozie or something in it. You can't send it that way. You have to send it as a parcel.
No.
$6.
You know.
And you're like, come on, really?
Well, I can. So I've been trying to get a hold of the Dark Lord Minute
Crazy.
because I was just going to send her a gift card to go to Walmart to pick up one of these charcoal grills
Mhm.
because it's $79. You can buy that grill for like $25 at Walmart. So I was just going to
Wow.
give a $50 gift card to Walmart or wherever, just so it would be even more than what it is. I emailed, but I haven't got anything back from her yet.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then the
Yeah,
gift
to pay the
card.
shipping.
Yeah.
Well,
and then
that's what the
go ahead.
That's what the lady at the post office said. She was like, let me know if it goes through as a package instead or whatever, the more expensive. And so I told everyone, I said, if you have to pay postage, let me know so I can let the post office what's she going to do? Nothing. But so she would know personally for the future. But, they have that little board and I just go to Dollar General and get those white bubble envelopes, the smaller ones. And I'm just sending 4 o'clock seeds and a sticker, so it's not
Yeah.
like a koozie, for God's sake. Really?
Mhm.
That should qualify in that envelope. So maybe that's what you need to do, Dale, is just go to the
I
dollar.
have checked into pirate shipping, and that's what way I'm going to go.
Well,
Oh,
but
yeah, I heard that was good.
but where do you? So my deal with the pirate shipping is I couldn't find one of the shippers around here. Brenda, if you found one, let me know.
Hmm. Yeah,
Because
that's what Jesse and Lisa use, but we don't have one here. We have nothing
Brenda's
here.
only like 30 minutes from me, so if she's found one, I'll drive 30 minutes.
I thought the way that they talked, you just took it to the post office.
Well, that's what I thought too, but that's not what it said on the deal that I read.
I don't know. I think because they live in a bigger metropolis that they have more access to things. I know right where they live, and they have a lot of things that we don't have, that we just don't have. They have internet per se.
No kidding.
Well, I have internet.
Well, you're spoiled rotten. Wait,
Well, I do live
talk
close
to
to
the
State
hand.
College.
Speaking
We
of
have a
college, I need to
jetpack.
get around.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
going to be
gonna.
an early morning.
Yeah, Nina ought to be getting home, and then I can go to sleep finally.
Well, I'm going to knock off. I appreciate you letting me come up and teaching me so much. I feel like I've been in another class. It's been awesome. I've learned so much. Now I'll have to ask you again in about 5 minutes what I learned, but
That's me too.
I know the bigger number means more power, right?
Not necessarily, but
Bigger
Okay.
size.
good rule of
Well,
thumb.
more powder. Could be more powder. Okay, so I did learn something. Hey, Candy Dudette, I sent your package to you. I got a package or gift card from Candy.
Please send goats.
Yeah.
That always cracks me
Okay,
up.
I don't want goats. I did. I used to, but okay. I'm gonna go. I love you all so much.
All right.
Great
Love you.
talking
Talk
to
Bye.
you.
See you later.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, yeah.
So I'm confused here. I need to send to Mitchell.
Send
I
you
need.
I think information for internet about here in Oklahoma.
I have good internet. I have like smoking internet. My biggest deal was my computer crashed this year. That's it. That's the source right there.
Yep. Yeah. So we have a MacBook for sale if anybody wants one.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's the one you were telling me about the other day.
Yeah. Well, I'm out on it.
Oh yeah. You're just gonna
Mhm.
get a regular old Windows computer?
I don't know what we'll get something, but we don't need it anymore because it doesn't. I mean, it works. It just won't work for what we're wanting it to work with. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I think the reason why we have really good internet is we are really close to OSU, and for some reason or another, our house is set as priority, so we get internet really, really good.
I got informed or found out the other night in at the awards banquet for Rooster. I mean, they announce it over in front of this crowd that his plan is to go to OSU next fall. I'm like, well, that's news. But
I need a computer bad because I don't have one. Well, I see the other day on Walmart. You can go to their you can put one of them one of their computers in your shopping cart, right? And then it says Affirm, and I had to ask my wife what it was. But so Affirm, you can do like a payment plan on it for, I don't know, depending on how much it is, for hardly anything. Wendy
yeah,
asked
you were
how
telling me
much.
about that. You can almost make payments on it through there or something.
Yeah, it's through Affirm. It's a third party deal. Like you have to go to it and see if you would get approved to it. But my Nina said people that come into Walmart all the time, they just get approved for stupid stuff. And she's like, I don't know. She thinks everybody that gets approved. Did you see Brenda's comment there?
Yeah, email me, Brenda. We'll talk about it.
Are you talking about the Affirm? I don't know anything about it. I've never used it. I just seen it the other day. I thought it was pretty neat.
Yeah, you pay interest on it. It's
Well,
just like
yeah,
a,
I'm sure.
but well, I'm
All
gonna
right.
get off here, dude. I'll
All
talk
right.
to you later.
Well, I'm getting off too, so I appreciate everybody for coming in. And sorry there was no video today, but I had been putting in floor all day today in the hallway, tearing stuff out. And
Did
I
you?
didn't. No, I didn't. Before you even ask.
Well, I was gonna say, are you replacing those orange countertops that your wife hates so much?
Well, yes, but not right now. She wants the flooring done in the hallway first.
Oh my gosh.
Send goats, please. That's funny. Oh, I didn't see Southern Sewn and Grown came in.
Yeah. Howdy, howdy, howdy.
Hello. So, good night to everybody, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Deuces.